Today I want to talk about summer pond maintenance. Now here at Greystone Gardens we have a pond that's probably about 20 feet across, possibly 3 feet in the middle and shallow all around the edge. Now I have no filter system. The only filters I use are plants. We have a lot of plants here and some of the plants need a little bit of attention. We'll talk about that in a minute. So what causes problems in the summer? Well, basically if you've got too much nitrogen in the water and there's too much sunlight, then you've got the perfect ingredients recipe for algae. And algae can be several different types. It can be single cells and it makes the water look like pea soup, or you can have filamentous stuff which gives you a luminous kind of green look and it starts covering everything. Plant life is great. Now plant life in a pond will suck the nitrogen out of the water. It will create oxygen, will oxygenate the water. Boy, my frog's really happy over here, listen to that. All right, give me a second, will you? But what I need to do is just reduce some of it because of all that organic matter I've got growing there. If I was to leave it in the pond, then it would start decaying. And next spring when the water warms up, we can have the opposite effect. It starts robbing oxygen as it decays from the water, and that will give my animal life something of a problem. All right, to fight a war like this, I need the right kind of weapons. There we are. Quite a fashion statement day. Not. Well, the first thing I do is to check. I've got a simple little fountain on the other side, and it's run by this pump over here. And I'm just trying a new filter this year, and this one seems to be doing very good. It doesn't clog up like some of the other ones I have. But that's working well, and I'm just going to tuck him back with the filter pointing upright. Now, just bear in mind that a healthy pond does have some sediment on the bottom. It's part of that whole process of denitrifying bacteria and things like that. So don't worry about too much. It's the excess things that I want to worry about. Now, while I'm in the pond, I'm just going to work myself around, and there are some beautiful white lilies here, but the old leaves you can just break off. I just will collect them and take them out. This is a part of a lily. We could actually replant that in a container, so I'm just going to put that on the side. That's broken loose, I don't know why, but something might have got in there. That's even part of one as well. Now, as you can see, the lily looks like it's jumping up in the air. The lily pads should really be going across the surface. The rule of thumb is that probably 60–70% of the surface should be covered by some kind of floating plant. And we've probably got to maybe 50% at the moment. So I'm not going to take too much of a lily out, but when it comes up like this, it kind of tells me that it's getting a bit cramped in the middle. And maybe I should pot up a few and put them a bit further around. So this is stuff that I'm actually a little bit worried about, and this is why I've got the waders on to come inside. This is not the Spirogyra of the filamentous algae, but it is this long weed. But what's nice about it is that you can gather it up and get it out the pond quickly. To grow this weed, it's taken a lot of nitrogen out of the water. So rather than let it decay over the winter, I'm going to remove it and put it on the compost. And you might be wondering why I've got the knife there. This is it really, to cut the lily free. There's a big chunk of it. Oh, it just broke off. So there's one section. It had some nice flowers on it. The newer parts of the lily tend to produce the flower buds. So that's what you want to be looking for, not the old stuff. And I think I might try. Let me just cut this one free. Wow, look at all that. So each part here could actually be another lily plant, but I'm going to actually just use the ends a little bit there. So let me throw these up onto the bank, and then I'll come out and we'll pot these up. So this is what I've harvested from our pond, some very big ones, but let's start with a smaller one. Now this looks fairly easy. Usually where the new growth is, I put that in the middle of a pot. So I'm holding that right in the center, and what I've got in this bucket here is a very heavy garden soil. There's nothing nice about it. You don't want to use a potting soil with perlite or vermiculite or bark chunks because they will float up and be all over your pond. So I'm going to firm those roots in there. And just lightly press to hold it. And when you pick it up, you realize it's quite heavy, which is important because it will sink to the bottom of the pond. Once the soil's in and the plant firmly adhered to the soil, the roots are in there, the rhizome is at 45 degrees, the new bit is in the middle. I'm going to cover it with a layer of gravel. Again, it weights down the pot and will stop any of that soil being disturbed. Just be careful not to use marble chips or limestone. This is a sandstone. The marble can change the pH a little bit. In terms of growing the lily, they can grow in up to 2 feet of water. They probably need about 2 feet to get through the winter. If this rhizome freezes solid, then you might lose your lilies. So you have to be lower than where the ice forms. Now, in terms of fertilizing, you can buy pond tabs like that. These are little tabs that you push into the soil and then close up. What you don't want to use is granular fertilizer and put it in the top in the soil, because it would all leach out quickly and cause problems in your pond. All right, into my holding tank. I just put them in here to make sure they're okay. I like to see the leaves reach the top, which these will. That's from that big one that was standing up. And again with this one, slowly does it and heavy enough to float to the bottom. I just spread the leaves out. They will correct themselves and they will start floating on the surface. So once I know that those lilies are doing well, new leaves are coming up, I can put them back in the pond and we can cover more of the surface area. So there we go, water gardening, summer maintenance. And if you've got any questions, we're down here at Greystone Gardens. We'd love to see you.